Minister, Jess Phillips.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and thank you to both all the Madam Deputy Speakers who have sat through this debate. I want to start by thanking the member for Brent East for bringing this debate. She said in her comment that she was the 286th Member of Parliament, is that right? 286th female Member of Parliament elected to this House, and 10 years after she was first elected, I was elected, and I'm the 311th. And so there was actually only 25 in between the two of us, and yet there are women who stood in this chamber today who said they were the 689th. So in the following 10 years, the acceleration of that pace is what International Women's Day is all about this year, about accelerating action. So let's keep that up. International Women's Day is a moment to celebrate the achievements of women here in the UK and to recognise the enormous contribution they have made across every sector, and many have done that in the House today. It has really shone through in the debate and has been a privilege to listen as members have reflected on the women who have influenced and inspired them. But it turns to me to do the thing I do every year. And I wish I could be entirely uplifting. While we celebrate women who have lit up our lives and helped change the world, we also lament the loss of those who did not have the chance. The statistics show that a woman is killed by a man on average every 3 days in the UK, and that 1 in 5 homicides are domestic homicides. We cannot allow this to continue. We must act now and be relentless in chasing the change. Many have mentioned today Raneem's law that the government have brought in to embed specialists in 999 control rooms. And I hope that this shows how important this list, the issue of women killed, is to this government, how it drives our actions, because I read out the names of Raneem, Uda and Kaula Salim, her mother, on the years that they were killed. We have also set about putting in place the new domestic abuse protection orders, which is a huge step forward and has already seen where perpetrators breach their orders, that they are being arrested swiftly and incarcerated, and that entirely comes from every domestic homicide review that I have read that tells me when a perpetrator breaches an order, if we don't respond, the consequences can be fatal. The government is also seeking to push forward massively on stalking laws, and there are many who I have read on the list over the years who have died because we didn't take stalking too seriously. One of the things the government will do is allow people to know the identity of their online stalkers, which currently isn't the case and is based on the case of Nicola Thorpe. I'm going to call it Nicola's Law because I want to start having laws for women who didn't die. Women who didn't have to die so that we changed the law is what we have to get to. We must go further and push harder. Unfortunately, it's too late to protect those already taken from us. To ensure that we do not forget them and all the women who have suffered due to violence against women and girls, and I say this is men's violence against women and girls, I will take this opportunity to read the names collated by the amazing women at the Femicide Census. They collate the list of women and girls aged 14 and above, and this year 4 children are included on the list who have allegedly been killed by, or known to have been killed by men in the past year. This is the 10th year I have read this list. I do it now for the first time from the dispatch box of the House of Commons. I do it in front of and to honour the families of these women and the women who have appeared on the list in the past. Last year, I said that I felt tired and angry and weary. I was sick of the failures. But as I stand here today on the front bench, placed here by a Prime Minister inspired to action who mentioned the reading of the list in the very first ever speech he made from this dispatch box as the Prime Minister, alongside a Home Secretary and a flight of brilliant ministers who are totally dedicated to this, I feel hopeful that the women whose names I'm about to read out, they left us breadcrumbs. They left us clues as to why they died, and we cannot stand and say anymore that lessons will be learned. What I promise is that I will actually learn the lessons. Here is the list this year. Zay Wang, Pauline Sweeney, Carol Matthews, Ursula Allman, Tiffany Render, Frances Dwyer, Ruth Baker, Kennedy Westcar Sabaroj, Samantha Mickelber, Rachel McDade, Lisa Welford, Karen O'Leary, Sonia Parker, Tanjit Riaz, Anita McKay, Barjan Kaur, Catherine Parton, Emma Finch, Margaret Parker, Amy Gray, Maria Nugara, Patsy Oust, Veronica Chinyanga, Delia Hacksworth, Joanna Ward, Lauren Evans, Maxine Clark, Scarlett Vickers, Sophie Evans, Joanne Samak, Carol Hunt, Louise Hunt, Hannah Hunt, Jenny Sharp, Alana Odysseus, Laura Robson, Kulsuma Akhtar, Rebecca Simkin, Olivia Wood, Courtney Mitchell, Nina Denisova, Alberta Obingham, Stephanie Marie, Sophie Watson, Vicky Thomas, Eve McIntyre, Montserrat Martorell, Cher Maximum, Brodie McGregor, Zanil Zabanda, Bryony Gawaith and her children Oscar Birtle and Aubrey Birtle, Davinia Graham, Barbara Nomakosa, Christine Everett Hickson, Juliana Prosper and her children Giselle and Carl Prosper, Rachel Simpson, Mary Ward, Luca Bennett Smith, Anita Rose, Mashal Ilias, Rhiannon Sly White, Catherine Flynn, Sadie Butler, Rita Felming, Cheryl McKenna, Carol James, Phoenix Spencer Horn, Harshita Brella, Alana Armstrong, Margaret Cunningham, Christine Spillane, Margaret Hanson, Karen Cummings, Astra Sirapina, Miriam Barosh, Gemma Devonish, Joanne Pearson, Tihona Grant, Heather Newton, June Henty, Layla Young, Julie Buckley, Jamaluta Tuswana, Diane Cleary, Claire Chick, Margaret Werby, Carmen Coulson, Rita Lambourne, Megan Hughes, Lisa Smith, Anne-Maria Muraru, Leanne Williams, 2 women from Birmingham whose names have not yet been confirmed. Finally, though the suspects have not been identified, I would like to honour the lives of Dora Leese and Christine Jeffreys. Also, in the last year, Sharon Holland, Chloe Holland's mother, has asked, because her name would never have been read out on this list, if she would be remembered. So I ask that we remember Chloe and we remember alongside her the list of women who died from suicide or unclear, sinister and hidden circumstances where we know there was a history of domestic abuse or sexual violence. Those women's names will not make it onto this list because nobody has ever been held accountable for their deaths. I promise today that we are working on these hidden homicides. They deserve better. They deserve justice. Yeah. I will finish by thanking everyone who has contributed to the debate. I note that this year's debate, the amount of people who talked about the women who had been harmed in their constituency and the calls for action for change has been incredibly heartening. We have heard about making work pay, keeping our streets safe, and women who have fought tirelessly to embed true equality into our everyday lives. This is a fight that demands the very best from all of us, and we must rise to the occasion. Under this issue, under this government, this issue will get the attention that it deserves. We will keep honouring and celebrating women as we build a society in which they are respected and protected. And we will back up our words with action as we seek real and lasting change, undeterred by those who sit on the sidelines while the list of names grows longer. Thank you.